upon a time, in a cozy little nest by the reeds, a mother duck eagerly awaited the arrival of her ducklings. She sat on her eggs, her feathers fluffed and her heart full of hope. When the day finally arrived, she hatched 7 adorable ducklings. 6 of them were bright yellow, their downy feathers soft and fluffy, but the 7th duckling was different. Its feathers were white as snow. The other ducklings quacked and played, but the white one felt out of place. The other ducklings called it the ugly duckling, and it didn't take long for the name to stick. The ugly duckling didn't understand why it was different, but it knew it didn't belong. One sunny morning, the ugly duckling decided to leave. It waddled away from the nest with its heart heavy. Along the way, it met a kind-hearted orangutan hunter named Rango. Rango saw the ugly duckling's loneliness and took pity on her, so he decided to take her home. But little did the duckling know that Rango's home was no ordinary place. Rango lived with his quirky animal friends, a mischievous monkey, a gentle giraffe, and a grumpy gorilla. They all had their quirks and blamed the ugly duckling for their unique features. The monkey said, "You made me lanky." The gorilla grumbled, "Your fault, I'm so hairy." And the giraffe stretched its neck and said, "Blame the duck for my ugly neck." And all 3 of them reminded the ugly duckling about its looks. And this made the poor duck very sad. The ugly duckling felt even more out of place. It longed for acceptance and decided to leave once again. This time, it stumbled upon the warm-hearted gazelle. Hello friends, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Enjoy the rest of your story. The gazelle welcomed Duckling into its cozy den, and for a while, the ugly duckling felt at home. The gazelle taught it to leap and gracefully and showed it the beauty parts of the middle. But one day, temptation got a better part of the ugly duckling. In the gazelle's kitchen, it saw a basin of water, the same kind it used to splash in with its family back in the lake. The memories flooded back, and without thinking, the ugly duckling jumped into the basin. Water splashed everywhere, soaking the kitchen and leaving a mess. Mrs. Gazelle walked in, her eyes wide with shock. "What have you done?" she exclaimed. "You are no longer welcome here," Mrs. Gazelle said. And so, the ugly duckling found itself homeless once more. It wandered through the forest, fields and valleys, seeking a place where it belonged, until one day, it arrived at a serene lake surrounded by tall grasses. There, it encountered 3 mysterious guests: a swan, a flamingo, and a heron. The swan with its graceful neck looked at the ugly duckling and said, "You are not ugly, you are just becoming who you are meant to be." The flamingo dipped its neck into the water and added, "Embrace your uniqueness." The flamingo nodded. "Fly with us," it said, "you are one of us." And the heron, with its elegant stance, whispered, "You are a guest, you're a guest. Fly with us, duck." The ugly duckling hesitated, then it spread its wings wide. To its surprise, it soared into the sky. It could fly. Tears filled its eyes as it joined the other birds gliding over the shimmering lake. And so, the ugly duckling realized it wasn't ugly after all. It was a swan, a magnificent creature that had finally found its place. As it dipped into the cool water, it whispered, "I am a guest, I am a guest." And from that day on, the ugly duckling embraced its true self, knowing that sometimes our differences lead us to extraordinary transformations. The end.